I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. If we could remain standing and remember our men and women in the armed forces, again, as always, those that are serving us today and those since our last meeting will not come home. I just want to point out one thing on the agenda that's a change probably. Number 2 will always be, more than likely always be, public comment on the agenda items. So that gives anyone that comes to our meetings a period of time as number 2 on the agenda to say whatever they would like on the agenda items. And then number 10, at the end of the meeting, will be public comments on whatever one wishes to bring up. Okay? First on the agenda is to approve minutes, which were taken on the 6th of February, 2012.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Trustee Perry, second by Trustee DeSalvo. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next, and I'll give you a second here because it is a new way here. So look at the agenda, which has been provided to you. If there's any comments that someone would like to make on something here. A lot of it tonight, a lot of it is training requests. Actually, it's just about all training requests. I'm not jumping ahead, but I just want to point out number 3. I see Mr. Flynn in the audience. He might. I want everyone to realize that this Touch-A-Truck, which is a nice thing for the community, and it's, I guess, a good fundraiser, has been requested for May 12th, but that is First Holy Communion. And so I was just wondering, the parking will be needed. I'm wondering if you could maybe change the date.
Are you sure? Because we talked to Father
I
Jack.
talked to Father Jack today.
They changed it then.
Actually, the clerk did.
Okay. I'll double check with Father Jack.
It doesn't matter what date.
I agree with you 110%.
That's the date it'll be.
I agree with you.
You have your insurance here. That'll have to be changed, but that's a nothing. You know that. Okay. Any item? So let's go back to public comments.
So public comments on agenda items. The agenda has been changed to have public comments at the end, pretty much right before executive session. And why did you decide that, and when?
When did I decide it?
You decided to change the format.
Well, the format, this will work better. Before it was public comment throughout the meeting. It didn't allow us to conduct business as we thought we should. And by calling around to so many municipalities, I think I was the only one that allowed public comment throughout the meeting. This is the same format, and I'll refer to Councilman Livesey there. The town had a format similar to that. They actually had a time period. You could only talk, 5 minutes actually. It was 5 minutes. I remember going down there, public comment in the beginning, and I wasn't allowed to speak because the person before me actually took the whole 5 minutes. So this way it gives you a time now to look at the agenda. And again, at the end is public comment. So are there any public comments on the agenda items? Okay, I'm going to move forward. Number 3 is a request for the facilities that I just mentioned with Touch-A-Truck, and so we'll table it, and there's plenty of time to have this on the next agenda. Okay? Motion. May I have a motion to table the Touch-A-Truck fundraiser? Motion by Trustee Brown. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Trustee Perry. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Number 4, request for training. Walter Ford, who is our mechanic in the DPW, to fleet safety, maintenance and equipment forum at Westchester Community College on the 28th of February from 8:30 a.m. to 2 o'clock in the afternoon with mileage reimbursement.
So moved.
Motion by Trustee McCormick. Is there a second? Trustee DeSalvo seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Next, we have again a request for training. DPW, all employees in the DPW. In the wastewater treatment plant, John Jones, Tim Dougherty, and David Hurst, which is all those employees. Downstairs, Village Hall, Margaret Lewis, Anna Sierra, and Sue Bunty, to a safety seminar on the 6th of March in Newburgh, New York, 8:30 in the morning till noon.
No charge.
Offered by Right Risk Management, which is a company that the village deals with, mileage reimbursement if needed, and is there no cost to this safety seminar? Motion by trustee Brown, is there a second? Trustee Perry, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. We have another request for training for DPW Superintendent Pat Patterson and another employee of the DPW, Pablo Polito, to attend the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation Stormwater Management. This is actually a requirement. Gary Boyce had it before, now Pat has to go through this. And that's going to be on the 7th of March from 8 in the morning to 4:30 in the afternoon at Middletown, New York. The cost is $130 per person. Again, this is more mandatory.
Make a motion, we approve the training on Tuesday, March 23rd.
Motion by trustee DeSalvo, seconded by trustee McCormick. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Next we have, and the last one, as far as I have here, for training DPW, again, all employees to the safety class given by Hoffman Equipment, which has nothing to do with the hardware store across the street, on the 23rd of March, 8:30 in the morning to 3 p.m. in the afternoon at Marlboro, New York. I don't see a cost.
There's
No cost.
No cost, that's what we like. So these are all very, very good classes to go to. Motion by trustee Brown, is there a second? Second by trustee DeSalvo. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. We have bills and claims for fiscal year 2011 and 2012 of $70,256.52.
Can we get a breakdown of that, since we don't know?
Do we have that up here? You don't
I know we're not
read
supposed to be
it.
speaking now, but I'd like to know what that 70,000 is for.
See, I forgot that already. It's gonna be hard for me to break that habit. I'll let you look, I'm not gonna read this, you can look at this if you wish.
Thank you.
Okay, could I have a motion to pay bills?
Someone make a motion to pay the claims.
Motion by trustee DeSalvo, second by trustee Brown, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. All right, now I have board comments, so let's see where we'll go. I say this to everyone, but especially Norm, to you. I instructed the building department to move forward with notifying the health department, the county health department. They have done so about maybe a room or two down there, we don't know. Please let the department know if there are any violations of health regulations found upon your investigation. I just don't know, they haven't done it yet, but I'm hoping by getting a letter from the building department, they do. So that'll be a little bit of a follow-up there.
Okay.
I'm happy to tell you finally that there's a law that's been written by the village attorney for what I call motel stays. And that probably, I'm not sure if that's the right terminology, but you know what I mean. And the board will be, they each have a copy of this, they're going to be reading it, and digest it, recommend changes. We have a meeting coming up with the village attorney. If they have any recommendations for changes, or deletions, additions, it'll be taken care of there. I see this coming on the agenda. I would hope the second meeting in March.
Okay. If you could tell us, just give me a heads up, and then,
When I say the second meeting in March, if it takes place then, that's the introduction, no comment.
Okay.
And then at the next meeting, the first meeting in April, would be public hearing.
Okay.
You definitely want to be at that one.
just so I'll get everybody.
Yeah.
Mixed up.
Yeah. So it's
Have everybody.
happening.
Okay. How about, Joe, did you, with the days when they were out, did you?
It's in here.
Okay.
It's in here, Norm.
Just so it doesn't go from one to one.
No, it's addressed in here how long they can stay, and it's addressed in here that they can't go from room 2 to room 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
And, you know, from one to one, you know what I'm talking about, up to there and back, chasing the tail, going around this whole thing.
Well,
You know,
it
so
probably
many days-
doesn't address that person leaving there and going to another one.
But I mean, so many days that if they went there 30 and came back 30 and...
It addresses how long they have to stay out of the one they just left. Is that,
Yeah, what I'm saying is if they come from here, walk up top for 30, back and forth, and just keeps on.
it's a longer period, but,
Not to exceed 30 days.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know if that's what he's...
no,
He's saying if I stay...
I think they have to be out of it I think, Norm, I had to reread it again, but it could be 90.
Yeah, okay. Because that
You
way,
know,
if you go
here-
up there 30,
here-
they can't go to somewhere else.
Not to exceed 30 consecutive days for a period not to exceed 45 non-consecutive days within 90 days.
Okay, so that would take care of 30
Yeah.
here, going up
Yeah,
there, 30
right.
back and
Can't do
forth.
45 in a 90-day period.
I had a meeting, which was very, actually it was a very positive meeting with the building inspector and the new building inspector. I would tell you that, and I gave them, while they were here, I gave them a list of items to go and look at. But what I want to say to the board is that I asked the building department if they would attend my monthly department head meetings, and they quickly said yes. So that'll be good for the building department to be in the room with the department heads to share information. So that I think that's a positive thing. Okay. Joe?
No.
Jim?
Just to echo your comments in regards to the building department, I also sat in on the meeting, and both the mayor and I stressed that code enforcement is a very important issue here. There were a couple of things that were brought up at the last meeting, and, you know, we went over the new code enforcement officer with him about those items. And we said, you know, we emphasized that it does not take long for things to get a little out of control. So, you know, in 3-4 months, things can get out of control, and that's what we've been without for a while. So he came very highly recommended. He formerly worked at Newburgh, so he's used to dealing with a lot of stuff. And so he wants to hit the ground running. So I thought it was a very good meeting. That's all I have.
Harold? Richard? No report. I'll open up to public comment. Yes, would you state your name, address, and if you're affiliated with any organization?
Laura Milsom, 105 Center Street, not affiliated with any organization. So to go back to first the derelict property at 109 Center Street, we're in receipt of all the information that we foiled, and we've had a chance to review that, and I'd just like to reference that now that you've had a chance to meet with the building department from the town. December 29th, 2010, I'm in receipt of a letter from John Hager to Joe D'Onofrio, village mayor. Says at this point the building department's only recommendation to the village board would be to consider scheduling a hearing at which the maintenance of the property can be discussed by the board and the owner should he choose to attend. Perhaps the village would consider having work performed on the property and back charge the owner or lien the property's taxes to cover the expenses. Please let us know if the board will require any estimates to have exterior work performed by the contractors. Also, please inform this department of any hearings scheduled by the board, and there was some other things in there. You might want to pull that up to reference that. That was December 29, 2010. The next one I have in my hand is from 7/6/11. Central Hudson Gas and Electric came to our driveway and proceeded to tear up our driveway. and tell us that our home was in danger of gas from this derelict property, and they consequently wrote on the 6th of July 11, Central Hudson Gas Company copied the building department a letter application for permit to retire an inactive gas service for number 109 Center Street, building currently unoccupied and in no condition to be safely occupied. And they told us that we weren't safe, and that's a quote. The next one I have is Monday, August 1st, 2011, 11:53 a.m. from John Hager to Mayor Joe at bestweb.net. As we have offered in the past, if the village board would like contractor estimates to improve or remove the building, we can begin that process upon authorization. And then the last one that I have just from this particular foil is dated 11/15/11.